Okay, I'm working on a NWT TC3 controller for my cafe racer, and there wasn't a lot of information out there regarding this particular model, the TC3, so I threw together a test board just to validate all the wiring per the diagrams, map out to where I want them to go, and kind of like test everything beforehand, so now I can pick it up from here and stretch it out on the bike, cut things to length. It just made it a easier way to test by putting on this board. So I have all the inputs, all the outputs, and a battery, just like it would be on the bike. So I wanted to go over this to show you what I've done. So I have the TC3 controller, which is there, and it's about 1 inch thick, has the 5 block type connectors on it, each one labeled to what it does, power, output, input, dash, and switch. And what I did in this breadboard thingy is I did a terminal block for every one of those switches. So I have the dash, the inputs, the outputs, the lights. I did a ground bank, and then I also have one of the terminal blocks for the handlebar switches. I'm using the push button switches, M control ones, and they feed directly into that unit. So this is the documentation you can get off their website. It tells you all the details in regards to TC3. This one's the M, meaning manual control. They have 3 different models, but this is one that fit my switches. There's also a document that shows all the pinouts, where those 5 connectors go to, all right? So each one of those, like I said, goes to a terminal strip, so I know kind of like where they go. I bought their key switch, which plugs directly into the control board. It comes already with the right connector, and plugs right into the control, and then it has a wire that goes to the solenoid. Again, this is their solenoid, which has built-in fuses, a spare fuse, and it diagrammed exactly where it needs to go. Their wiring diagram is universal, so it shows if you have a couple buttons, a single button, couple buttons, triple buttons, or the old style switches. And then inside of the unit itself, you take the couple screws, take the cover off, and there's a dip switches. And this diagram tells you how to set those dip switches to match your particular set of switches, which I have the 3 button by 3 button. So I have the first 4 up, but the second 2 down. The second 2 down is the horn, momentary horn, and momentary start. All right. Then the next one is the output harness, which goes to the regulator. I bought their Rec 370 regulator, so I didn't have to worry about a 40-year-old regulator. It will do lead acid, AGM, or lithium type batteries. So if I plan to change the batteries in the future, I have the regulator that will do it. Now this diagram is kind of like overall where all the wiring goes. And then the last one is if you let them know what dash unit you're using, they will come back and give you a personalized wiring diagram to show you how to hook up your dash unit. I got this one, which is in mile per hour, and then also has a neutral, oil pressure, turn signal, and high beam built in. I'll include where I got that later, because the one from Amazon doesn't work. The wiring was willy-nilly wrong, and it said KPH, even though it was really MPH. This one was a little bit more, but the wiring was great, and it has the correct speedometer face. That's the NWT key switch, and then some Amazon type stop tail lights and some LED linkers. And then to simulate some of the other lights, I just have some little LEDs for a high beam indicator, low beam, horn, show like when the coils get power and when the starter gets power. So let me show you how this thing works. So turn the key on, and it kind of like will do a couple flashes to let you know that it's powered up and ready. Of course, the bike is not running. and it's in neutral, so no oil pressure, and the neutral light is on. Those are both just sensor inputs from here, and per the diagram I just have them grounded for now to simulate no oil pressure, and it's in neutral. So to actually use the controls, this is the left-hand control, which would mount like this, and this is the turn. Nothing's labeled. You can pick which button you want to do what, but I wanted the outside ones to be turn signal. So if you just press that real quick, the turn signals flash. There is no auto, so to turn it off, press it again. This button is the high beam, low beam switch. So if we switch over to there, press it quick. Now the high beams are on, and press it again, low beams are on. Okay, the bottom one is the horn. Again, I have a light for the horn, and it's a hold down. As long as I hold it down, I'm holding it down, the light's on, or you can just push it. Okay, right hand control, same thing, outside turn signal for the right hand side. Quick press, quick enough, and you get the front and rear turn signals on. Quick press, goes off. This is to start the bike, so quick press and it will energize the coil. So now the coil is on, and then to start it, it's the bottom button. So as long as I hold this button in, you can see the starter light is on, and it is on a timer where it will only crank for, I think it's like 3 seconds. And notice that the low beam light goes out, so it actually shuts the lighting system off to give you more power for the starter. So holding it down again, and then it timed out. And then to turn the bike off, press that button again, and the coil goes out. So this is now all ready to switch over to the bike. I have a under bike mount for the battery, and then I've left everything long and just coiled everything up to where it needs to go now. So now that I have validated everything, I feel good to be able to just cut the wires, terminate them, and then be confident that it will work the first time out. So I will show it on the bike in a future episode.